Rob Acosta, and I'm competing to be First Phorm's next sponsored athlete. I entered this competition with one goal in mind, and that's help every single person on this planet, plain and simple. I seek to motivate, I seek to educate, and I seek to empower. As First Phorm sponsored athlete, I seek to learn from the network that First Phorm currently has in place. I seek to learn from all the fitness professionals that are currently the faces of First Phorm and involved in First Phorm. I seek to learn how to better myself as a fitness professional and how I can take this idea that I have for a fitness brand, a fitness movement, and take it from an idea and a framework that I have in my head to locally affecting people, to globally affecting people. I seek to educate millions, I seek to empower millions, and so I seek to do it as the face of First Phorm. My true purpose in life is to empower everyone to realize their true full potential through fitness, healthy nutrition, and a healthy lifestyle. Not one person, not a lot of people, every single person. I grew up in Tucson, Arizona. Discovered my passion for fitness from a very young age. Started playing soccer when I was 4 and quickly was playing a ton of other different sports.
Robert has always been athletic and passionate about sports since he was a young child. His first soccer game is very memorable because he kicked the ball down the field, passed it to another player, and then headed straight for the swing set. That was the only time, though, that I think he ever ran off the field, because after that we could hardly get him away from the fields.
By age 9, I was on the all-star team for soccer and baseball. I was captaining different teams that I played for. I wanted to be the best at everything that I did, and I quickly became in love with having a good work ethic and working hard. I was never the most talented player, but my parents taught me to set the highest standard of work ethic off the field as much as on the field, and be the most coachable player on the team. And sure enough, those two ideals were truly the seeds to my success from a very young age.
The spring of 8th grade, he was so passionate about all the sports he was playing that he was playing 5 sports at once. He was playing club soccer, AAU basketball, Pony League baseball, track, and cross country. With all of this going on, believe it or not, he never missed a practice, and he always insisted on eating good meals.
So I gained even more momentum in high school. I attended one of the most academically rigorous schools in the country and did well. I was named team captain by junior year when traditionally only seniors were named captain. I captained my club soccer team, which was one of the top teams in the country as well. I was highly recruited by Division I schools in the western part of the U.S. And on top of it all, I was a social butterfly. I love interacting with different social cliques and different people. And at this phase of my life, I definitely fell in love with seeing the beauty and potential in all people, different types of people. Then I hit my first roadblock, senior year of high school at a college recruiting tournament in which I was supposed to sit down and sign my letter of intent and negotiation with a school in California. I broke my hip. All the major schools that were showing interest quickly dropped their offers, and I was left scrambling. But I knew that wasn't it, and so I kept grinding and kept training and kept working toward playing soccer at the next level. Luckily, there was a small school in Iowa that continued to show interest, so I ended up in small town Iowa. By senior year, I was the captain of my team again and led my team to a conference championship and a national tournament after being predicted to finish at the bottom of the table for our conference. My coach at that point taught me about true leadership through service. I learned that captains don't reign over their teams, they lead from underneath, lifting up those that they hope to inspire rather than speaking down to them. That message spoke to me very loudly and has stuck with me ever since. I then began my pursuit for professional soccer contracts in 2009. I moved to Virginia and started playing for various amateur teams in the area. I did tons of tryouts and eventually signed with a professional development league team in Virginia Beach. Over the next 3 years, I attended probably 100 different tryouts, preseason camps, ID camps, all for different professional teams and varying leagues. And I just continued to face roadblock after roadblock. I battled different injuries, had to have a couple different surgeries, and just kept hearing no after no after no. I even had a coach at this point tell me it's time to start thinking about plan B in life. But I put my head down and I kept grinding. And in 2011, the PDL team that I was playing for bought a franchise in the first division for the indoor league here in the United States. So the ownership group wanted me on board. They loved what I stood for and invited me to train. But unfortunately, the coach was only looking for veterans at the indoor game at that time. They were an expansion team, and so he wanted guys with only experience and resumes. And so I was offered a position on the training squad, and I took it. I drove 45 to 60 minutes one way every single day to training for 5 months with the hopes of being signed and with the hopes that that was my end to my professional contract. Finally, in February 2012, I received a call from the head coach, and he offered me the contract. I thought I had made it. I was elated, and I finally got what I'd been working for, and I thought, this is it. This is it. I played one shift, which is about 2 minutes in one match, and that was it. And then the team that I signed for folded that summer. So again, I was without a contract. But true to self and true to everything that had proven effective in the past, I kept grinding. Put my head down and I kept grinding. I started the tryout circuit again. I was named to the All-Star team in the 2012 MISL Combine and was invited to a few different preseason camps from there. And then in October of 2012, the biggest blessing of my life happened. I tore a bunch of muscles in my groins and abs. My girlfriend of 5 years left me. I was broke and I hit rock bottom. I was between contracts, so I had no team insurance, no one to help cover the costs. The surgical price tag was right around $20,000. So I was forced to move back home to Arizona with about 5 outfits, my soccer shoes, and $18 to my name. I moved in with my sister and my brother-in-law and had to figure out a different avenue. But again, I knew my soccer days weren't over, so I put my head down and kept grinding. I got the first 2 jobs I could find and was working about 70 to 80 hours a week. Luckily, one job was personal training, so that actually kept me sane. The other job was a shitty bill collecting job. And when I say shitty, I don't say that lightly. I mean, I was collecting money from the parents of sick children who needed food formulas and feeding supplies. It was the worst. But I knew it was means to an end and nothing more than that. And so I put my head down and I worked. Then in May of 2013, I upgraded jobs. I was hired by a company with fantastic health benefits. The price tag for my surgery went from $20,000 to $90. So I grinded it out for a few more months until I was eligible for the health benefits. And then finally went under the knife November of 2013. So I was elated again, things were moving forward. I felt like everything was in a positive direction. And then a month into my rehab, I tore a bunch of muscles on the other side of my hips and needed another surgery. But again, all I could think to myself was, this is gonna make a hell of a comeback story, keep grinding. So I kept grinding, got the other surgery done, got the rehab done, went through my waiting period, and then in November of 2014, I signed my next professional contract in New York. I thought I made it. I was like, this is it. We've done it. I'm back on track, back on the path. But again, my road was filled with roadblocks. My first season back, I played in 2 matches, and then got beat out by a couple guys that were better than me for a position, and then got a really bad concussion in training that left me sidelined for the rest of the season. That team folded in 2015, and so I went to Cedar Rapids, Iowa in October of that year. I played in 9 matches for the team there, and then halfway through my contract was released with no explanation. I just got a call that I had to be up and out of my team housing by the end of the week. So I moved in with my best friend, and I slept on the floor of his living room for the next 10 months. Again, just with the vision that my soccer days weren't over. So I put my head down, and I kept grinding, kept training, and I kept believing. Later that year, I re-signed with the same team. I was a different head coach, and he brought me back on board and spoke some life into me. This time I played the whole season, and I started to gain a little more momentum again. I was then picked up by an agency out of Chicago, taken to Denmark to try to earn an outdoor professional contract, continue to pursue the outdoor circuit there. And then in July of 2017, I finally earned my first outdoor professional soccer contract. I was even more elated about that one. That's a huge goal that I had been dreaming of and grinding for years. And I could finally check it off the to-do list and get the weight off the shoulders. Had a good season there, had a great time overseas, and then returned back to the States after my contract was up in October of 2017, and signed with a team in St. Louis, Missouri. The ownership group here, as well as the head coach, explained that the franchise had been through some tough times over the last few seasons, and they needed a leader to step in and help reshape the culture. All the hard work I put in, I felt was finally paying off. So I put my head down and I continued to work and I kept grinding. That season was incredibly fruitful from a personal standpoint. I earned honor of being named 2017-2018 Defender of the Year for the entire Major Arena Soccer League, and led the league in block shots. This is the pinnacle award for a defender in the indoor league. So I was elated, ecstatic, and needless to say, just pretty happy. I'm now headed into my 6th professional season, and I have even bigger goals and aspirations in mind. But amidst all this, I absolutely fell in love with fitness. I continue to learn how to make myself better, and especially honed in on my eating habits and lifestyle habits. I began to micromanage every aspect of my exercise, eating habits, sleeping patterns, and I learned what could result from manipulations of different variables. As I taught myself and started to learn what did and didn't work, other people started to notice my progress and started to ask for help with their own training. So I quickly fell in love with sharing my knowledge and experience and teaching people how to lead more healthy lifestyles. I didn't come from the healthiest genes. My family health history is riddled with heart disease, obesity, diabetes, cancer, a myriad of other intestinal and health issues. So I was relatable to all these people coming to me for advice on exercise, and even more relatable to the people coming to me for help on eating habits and lifestyle habits. I especially fell in love with helping the youth. In a world that socializes kids to be unhealthy and unproductive, I seek to be a light to show them a brighter path.
Coach Rob is the most positive person at PAO, and he just makes the day a whole lot better. He comes up with the most creative drills and is just an all-around great person.
If we're truly going to impact health on a global scale, it's imperative that we make every effort to be more influential role models for the next generation.
Coach Rob has made quite a difference in my family's life. My son Ryan is one of his personal clients, and the positivity that comes off of this guy is really engaging. He always greets you with Happy Monday or Happy Thursday and positiveness about the day. What he has done for my son with the training and the skills that he learns with Rob and then applies to the field is just amazing. He's a really very special guy.
So these days, when I'm not playing soccer, preparing for competition, you can find me building my personal training brand at Grindin Fitness, working on the content for my fitness app and fitness brand that's being created for me, Grindin Fitness, coaching youth soccer, attending High Five Fridays and speaking at local elementary schools, posting free exercises for kids to emulate on my Instagram channel, or running private training sessions to help youth athletes train their strength, speed, and ball skills. A large part of my coaching I do at this point is mental coaching. These kids and adults need to be taught that immediate gratification is not a thing in the real world. That sometimes you have to fail and then fail and then fail before you finally achieve something. That sometimes it's going to suck really bad before it's good. They need to know that 1, 2, or 3 no's doesn't mean no forever. and that relentless positivity and aggressive patience are the key components to success. I take a lot of pride in sharing the 10 years of failures that led to being named Defender of the Year. As I continue to grow my influence and platform, I seek to grow a fitness brand. The one common element through all of my experiences in my own fitness, my soccer journey, working with thousands of clients and athletes, is that fitness is a grind. It doesn't matter where you are on the fitness spectrum, fitness is a grind. Keep grinding is the most common phrase among every single person on the fitness spectrum. And Grindin Fitness will be the embodiment of that phrase and will be a global network that provides tools for every single person at any point on the fitness spectrum. For now, I have two main messages for everyone watching this video and for all the First Phorm followers. Number one, there are no good and bad situations in life. There are only situations. The way you perceive and respond to those situations determine whether they are good or bad in the grand scheme of things in your life. Control what you can control and focus on only that. Having torn muscles and being dead broke was the best thing that could have happened in my life. You too can find the light in your darkness. Number two, walk the talk. For a lot of my life, I said one thing and did another. I knew the importance of sleep, but I still only got 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night. I knew the importance of eating, and I preached it to every single person that I worked with, but I still put questionable things into my body. Walk the talk. As First Phorm sponsored athlete, I want to share these messages with every single person. Everyone will face adversity, and everyone will be hypocritical at some point in their lives. Through it all, embrace the grind and keep grinding. I accomplished some major life goals even after hitting rock bottom, and you can too. I seek to inspire children to get started in a healthy lifestyle from a very young age. I seek to inspire the average Jane or average Joe to seek a life greater than average. I seek to inspire every single person that is facing a barrier in pursuit of their goal.
One of the most amazing things that I've ever watched Robert Acosta do is constantly think of new ways to be able to get information to the masses. It's one thing to be inspiring in individuals' lives that are a part of your everyday life, but to have that desire to want to help people he hasn't even met yet, people that are thinking about bettering themselves, that's pretty amazing. He just wants to help as many people as possible, and he's going to keep thinking of new and creative ways to do that. And that's truly inspiring, and somebody that's going to work that hard is definitely somebody that you want in your corner.
I seek to inspire every young soccer player and young athlete alike to align their habits with their vision.
My name is Grindin Fitness, and I've been working with Robert for a few months, and I've loved every second of it. I look forward to every practice, and the hint of fitness that he adds to our sessions is honestly really important for me. I feel like a lot of athletes could really use what he offers.
I seek to help even the greatest professionals transcend to an even greater version of themselves. I seek to cultivate a community of people with the culture of keep grinding so that we can all rise up together. I want to be the absolute best at every single thing that I do in life, from playing soccer, to eating right, to inspiring the kids that I work with, to beating my friends in FIFA on Xbox. I seek to be the best. And thus, I seek to be the best at motivating others to realize their true, full potential through a healthy lifestyle. And I seek to do it as First Phorm's next sponsored athlete. I am First Phorm.